guys, I'm back, and today we're going to do more scratchies. Woohoo! Check them out. And I realized I wasn't able to show you properly what I had done with the mirror last video and putting money on there. It didn't really show up, so I'm showing you that. You put the money on the mirror, and then the scratchies and the extra money, and it's all wow, 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 creating money amplification magic. Just gonna like do a little woohoo. But I do want to talk to you. I'm just trying to get it so you don't get just my double chin. Angle this. All right. I wanted to talk today about what happened after a lot has happened since I last made one of these videos, and I want to talk about what I experienced, what has happened, what I want to talk about, because after the last video I did the third scratchy, lost on that, and felt a little bit sad. But then I got this feeling of panic, right? And I felt it in my body, this like anxious feeling came up. And really what that is about is my nervous system starting to do the naughty stuff that the nervous system does. Now, the nervous system is a survival system, and so it is designed to override our conscious thinking, because it's like fight or flight, stay and play. Like, and if you're like actually having a good time and then a saber-toothed tiger comes to attack you, your nervous system has to override your conscious intention. Like, I'm at a restaurant having a nice glass of wine, and the saber-toothed tiger comes in. Consciously, I might want to, finish the meal and have the wine, but my nervous system is like, get the out of here. So it's designed to override conscious thinking and conscious intention. Why am I telling you this? Because it can feel so strong and real, whatever crap it's going on about, that it can push us off our path or actually control us in these really creepy ways. So again, go to my website or click on the link below and get my ebook, Authentic Positivity System, because you'll learn more about that way. It's really, really important to understand, because you might be going for a job, and say you're at the interview and you make a little mistake or something, right? And then the nervous system comes in and it starts getting really anxious because it's switched over, because your income feels under threat now. And because it's feeling anxious, you start getting like shaky and sweaty and choking up, because when you're in fight or flight, that isn't a system that's designed for chatting about stuff. It's designed to give you energy to get the fuck out. Oops, I said it. Whatever. Yeah, I swear. And I teach cosmic stuff, so deal with it. So anyway, so I got really anxious for a moment, because the stakes seem to get higher, that now I've done my third scratchy and haven't won. I've said I'm going to win some money on the scratchies to prove this like manifestation stuff works. So, and what it started to do was contract down on my thinking, because I looked at the number of scratchies I had left. I've got like 2 left, and I was like, I've only got 2 scratchies. But that's actually not what's really happening, because in the original intention of this exercise is that I was going to use all of this money, right, to showing you all of the money that I really had, to show you that when my nervous system kicked in, it immediately went into this sort of sense of contraction and limitation, going, you've only got 2 scratchies. What if you don't win on the next 2 scratchies, and everyone's gonna know what a loser you are? But in reality, I still have all this other, quote unquote abundance to play with. And that's really how we are as consciousness. Nervous system cracks down. We get into limitation. It's the most limited aspect of our consciousness, because it's designed to just push us into like one mode, which is like fight or flight, or hide or freeze or whatever, and it stops us from seeing the abundance that's actually still there. So what I had to do is I had to reality check my nervous system and go back to what I originally actually have to play with. Now I've only spent $20 on tickets so far, and we've only spent whatever, I don't know, $12 worth of tickets. And I still have all of this to play with in this experiment. So my nervous system was actually lying to me. And that's a really important thing to understand. Our nervous system lies to us all the time. It's like when I started skydiving, of course this would happen. I had a really bad first training and I failed I failed the first level like 3 times. And then the instructor was like, you're probably one of the people in the world who can't do this. Like, your brain actually can't do it. And if you don't pass the next level, there isn't a person here or anywhere else on any drop zone that will take you on as a student. And hearing that, being in a vulnerable state, listening to my teacher, it triggered off my nervous system. And this was part of the reason why I took up skydiving, because I wanted to confront my nervous system and see all the bullshit it tells me. And so from then on, it was really even more difficult, because I would be sitting in the plane and my nervous system would just be revved up and it would just be lying to me all the time, be like, you don't even like this, why are you even doing it, you're spending all this money on this, what's the point, you know, and just constantly running physical sensations through my body, like anxiety and pressure and all this stuff, and mental thoughts that was just rubbish. Now, luckily I know about this stuff, so I was able to use the tools that I use, like EFT, to override my nervous system. And I knew that if I just kept walking to the door and jumping out, eventually I would entrain my nervous system to accept this experience. I'm going to start scratching because we've got to get on with this too. I would entrain my nervous system to accept this experience, and then it would come along for the ride. And, you know, as it happens, I can skydive. I may not yet be the greatest skydiver, but I do have, like, I don't know, 560 jumps now. So what was really the truth? Was it my nervous system going, you can't do this, you're a loser, you're going to do, you know, terrible things going to happen, you shouldn't be spending money on this? Or my conscious intention, which was to override that, keep going, and now I have like the most amazing experiences, I meet the most amazing beautiful people in the world, I just love the skydiver so much, it's just changed and enhanced my life so much. If I'd listened to the rubbish my nervous system was lying at me in a very real way, I would have missed out on this other great creation. And that's what you have to understand about this. So when you take risks, you activate your nervous system. So any risk that you might be taking, whether it's in love or whenever you're pushing yourself beyond a known limitation, the nervous system gets activated and starts lying to you. And you have to, mastery of consciousness is to grab a hold of that and go, okay, this is my nervous system speaking BS. I'm going to keep going with this experiment, whatever. And I'm taking charge of this because this is what my intention is, what I'm choosing to do is to do this thing and not get into the panic and all of that stuff. And I've had an interesting couple of days because one of my still haven't started scratching because I'm having so much fun talking to you. A couple of things happened since I last did a scratching and made a video, is that one of my clients, we worked on the theme of ruin. This idea of ruin came up during her session, and she was concerned about something ruining, you know, something that she was working on. And this idea of ruin is a big part of that survival system. And it's also a really devastating concept. Like, you're going to be ruined. Like, I'm going to make these videos and I'll never win anything. And then I'll be ruined. It's so dramatic. That's what the nervous system does. It's like really dramatic and catastrophizing. You know, like if you think like someone's a cutie and like you go over there and then they blow you off a bit, the nervous system's like going, I will die of shame. I will be ruined. It happens to me. I know I have a very active nervous system. Trust me, it's talking shit to me all the time. And it might always do that, no matter how advanced I get in my consciousness. My nervous system may always be talking shit. But the trick is, you don't believe it. It's part of the illusion. Don't believe it until you like it. All right, it's time to get on with these scratchies. So I've got, Wild Cherries and New York Million. Oh, so I worked on the theme of ruin with this client of mine. And so that was cool because sometimes I'm working on stuff, and like I've worked with a client and then it'll be like relevant to something that's going on with me. So I thought it was really, really handy. And also, and then I was watching my favorite football team, Richmond football. They're playing in the preliminary grand final. This means a lot to me because my dad and I used to watch football together. And if they won this game, they were going to go into the grand final, which is like our version of the Super Bowl in Australia, right? If you're American, you probably like, what's Richmond? It's Australian rules football. You don't know, but check it out. Richmond are awesome. Go Tigers! And at the first half, at the end of the first half, they were losing by like 21 points, which is substantial, and they were really getting beaten by this other team who's really outplaying them and stuff like that. And because these guys I love this team because they do all mindfulness stuff and they're really into meditation and use the white light. Yeah, they do. Read the book, Black and Gold. They were able to come back from a situation where their nervous systems they were starting to, look a little crushed. They were getting injured and stuff like that. And they came back after the second half. Guess what? I was doing energy work on them. I was like sending energy to them, working on the consciousness of the crowd, because the crowd starts thinking they're going to lose, and then that's a lot of energy of like, oh my God, you're going to lose. And that builds up. We're sensitive, energetic, connected beings. So, send out some good energy. I'm going to win on this stuff. But anyway, so I did energy work and I shifted until I felt inside myself there was going to be a shift. And then they came out and they won because they're my creation and I wanted them to win. So they did. They won and they're through to the grand final. Next Saturday, grand final. I've got to scratch this stuff. Grand final, and this card is really complicated. Wild Cherries is complicated. And it's my birthday, so if they win the grand final, that'll be an awesome birthday present for me, and especially from my dad in football heaven now. Okay, so we're scratching Wild Cherries. I think I'm going to be rushing this. I also was kind of like just waiting till it felt right to do our next recording. Like I didn't want to rush it. I feel pretty new. I'm honestly, I'm more excited about telling you about all this shit than necessarily the whatever I'm even trying to win here. Although I do really want some tunnel time. Okay, I don't know what I'm trying to do here. This one is complicated. There's a lot on this card. Okay, I'm just going to scratch. Usually I like to linger, as we know, but I'm just going to scratch. Maybe I'll only have time for one. Because I counted out $20 more to buy my next round of scratchies as well, and see what happened. I guess I'm looking for wild things to match up, little images. What do I need? I don't know what I'm doing on this one. I'm really panicked because the video's running out of time. But the pictures are the same as the pictures after I scratch it, so I don't really understand what the hell is going on with this guy. I probably should have read it before I did that. Like, I'm scratching it, it's the same picture underneath as it is on top. What does this even mean? I need to read this properly. Oh, the symbols. I was supposed to scratch those first. Okay. What am I looking for? These are the symbols. Okay. Alright, alright. Running out of time. I've only got 40 seconds. Match all 4 symbols in a line to my symbols to win the prize shown for that winning line. I'm just going to show you the ticket because I think I'm going to run out of time to figure out whether I won or not. So I'm showing you the ticket. It's the same ticket, and I'll tell you next video if I won. Okay, guys, I won. I'm so bummed you didn't get my reaction. I only won $5, but it's the start, right? See, the energy's already shifting. That's hilarious. Well, here, it's here. I've got a coins, barb, key, butterfly. They all match in this section here. Okay, it's this row here. So 5 schmackaroonies, people.